Okay, I usually don't do crypto videos. I really don't. No, the reason I don't is because it's such a speculative area. But today's one of those days where I must be honest with you, the amount of opportunity that's sitting in today is absolutely ginormous. And you might be saying, oh, well, shit, Brenton, that's lovely from your point of view. But I'm sitting here with some losses that are really hurting me. So I want to take XLM as an example. And right now, we've seen today where I'm in the wrong. Anyway, I don't have the time sitting on this one. I'm in the wrong screen, actually. Normally I can show you better. But I'm in a 5-minute update, basically. So take profit. Forget all the take profits. Forget all that rubbish. But basically, this is where we were last night. And this is what we've seen. So we've seen 25 cents come down to 21.23. We've seen a test here in the low 20s. I've just bought a whole stack again right here. Now, I waited for it to do it twice. Now, to be very honest with you, tomorrow could be a bloodbath. So I've allowed some money as well to buy more here as well. But neither you or I can ever know the bottom or the top, all right? So we're always going to have to decide whether or not we put a whole big hunk in at one point, or whether we leverage our money a little smarter by putting in, for example, the way this was going, have a look at this. Look at these support levels here, where we said there. This was a pretty good indicator that this was going to happen and maybe start to recover, and today I wouldn't say like this, but certainly might have done this and stuck around that 23, 22 and a half, 23, 22 and a half cent point. All right, so basically, all very nice. Then we saw this drop off here, which has been very much the story of today. Have a look. It's done it a few times. We've seen it here where we've sat there and said, well, maybe today's not going to be as bad. We got to here. Better buy the dip. Maybe today's not going to be as bad. Buy the dip. Maybe today's not going to be as bad. Tested 3 times, came up, tested once, came up, bang. Look at that. Can Brenton be wrong here? Absolutely. But you've got to start to spend some money at some stage, and you've got to start relying on the fact that you've got some experience in this marketplace and that you actually know a little bit about what you're doing. And also, you can't look at 5-minute graphs and tell yourself that this is what I live by. You've got to expand those charts out sort of quite a bit. So you want to go boom, bang, and say, what has it done over the last month? What's it done over the last 3 months? Ever since President Trump came in, we saw a situation where basically we had an incredible amount of money that has gone up in XLM, XRP, Bitcoin, you name it, and it has been quite interesting. So okay, I'm admitting to the fact that this has hurt us in XLM a bit at the moment. But what I am saying to you, the way to get yourself out of that hole. So if you're in a hole up here at say, let's use numbers like, say you've got $5,000 in there. Right now, I would say at here by $2,500. And then if we end up tomorrow talking that it's here at 19 cents, maybe buy another $1,500 to $2,000. Once again, you're trying to recover. We know it's not going to be at 20 cents forever. We know it's not going to be there for a very long amount of time at all. We know, and we just do. And you might say, well, how can you know this? Well, you just do. You do. This is one of those things that happen. Bear in mind, Sunday night in the US, the worst night. Over the next 24 hours, we generally see recovery, although the stock market is being suggested that tomorrow is going to be a bloodbath in the stock market on Wall Street. So we're going to find out how good, to some degree, how good crypto really is. Now, let me take you across to another example. Okay, so this is a much better way of having a look at what's happened today in HBAR. And at the moment, I think HBAR is an absolute bloody gem to buy. I haven't been able to buy HBAR at this level since like a long, long time. And anyone knows me knows I've owned a bit of H bar at 4 cents, 6 cents, blah, blah, blah. So look, okay, I'm going to be honest, I'm not in a loss situation, but I am a capitalist. So when I see this, and let's again look at this support, and have a look at just how, when I just showed you the XLM chart, a lot of similar things happened where we sort of went, oh yeah, okay, bit of a shitty day. And then we went like this, very different actually, very different. We went from a dollar, what am I saying, 15 cents, get this right. Now bear in mind, these are big percentage points when we're talking 15 cents, okay? So, down to 13.8 there, that's an enormous drop there when you're starting to talk percentages and starting to look at this. And then this, to be honest, I don't know why you would ever take profit here, unless, sorry, I know what they're doing. There are people that are obviously doing stop losses, etc. So don't worry about all that. So then we saw it gain a little bit of strength, and I mean a little bit, not a lot. Then we saw it come back. See this baseline that's starting to look very much like, oh yeah, here we go again. So that's starting to become like a baseline. But if you were watching Bitcoin at the time, and if you were watching my favorite XRP over here at the time, which by the way is starting to show that I don't think we're going to get my $1.70 that I said that we might get down to. I don't know, but that's starting to look like maybe not. Anyway, as you look at this, you will see what happened with H bar. We saw this sudden drop. Now, the minute I saw it getting into this 13-cent range, I knew we're going to be buying this. And then we went back up into 14 cents, and I thought, damn. I mean, I set rules. I have rules for a reason. And the thing is that the rule I set was, we're going to buy it for 13 point something. And I watched it get into the 14s. I thought, you know what? And part of me nearly wanted to buy it because this was very supportive. Again, look at this. Bang, bang, bang. We've got these beautiful support areas. Then we had this beautiful run up, and we got up into the 14.3 cent sort of region there. 14 points, 3, I suppose, roughly. Yeah, close. Then we saw this. This was your opportunity. This was your opportunity right here. And you got a second shot at it right now. And look at the 5 seconds before we're going to get an update. Just see where the next one goes. Bang. All right. What are we at? 13,484. Okay, so it's going sideways at the moment. To be very honest with you, it's very hard to tell. So where does it go from there? Now, to give you an idea, I bought another, what did I buy? Another 25,000. I'm going to be very transparent with you and tell you what I'm up to. I bought 25,000 here at 13 point. I think we called it 13 point. No, it wasn't quite that. I think it was 13.5. Actually, I think we got that 13.6 maybe, somewhere around there. Remember, this is all cents and it's all US when we're talking. So what I've done there is, in my brain, this, again, if this comes down to 9 cents, I guarantee you I'll buy another 25 grand. Because H bar there is so much going on with H bar. And Trump, look, you guys know I'm a bit of a fan of President Trump. By the same token, I'm not a fan of his tariffs, but I also know he's going to do deals, he's going to play games for a while, and he's going to look like, and he just has to come out looking like the winner. I get all that, I really do. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that the politics of this, they're going to resolve, and then these US companies, trust me, it's the US companies who are going to do exceptionally well, because Trump is how do I put this? People know I have a bit of I love Trump's business mind, but let me tell you this, he's very egotistical, and there is no way on the planet he wants to see this get down to 4 or 5 cents again. No way in the world. And his favourite, I guarantee you, is over here. And some people would suggest that he's done nothing but try to stuff it up over the last week or so. I disagree. I disagree completely. We have had the most magnificent ride on this XRP. If you were there with me 2 years ago when I was saying to you, please trust me, we were buying it for 30, 40 cents. I bought a big lot at 41 cents, as you all know. I mean, how can we complain right now? Seriously? Yeah, sure. I sold, a whole stack, 155,000 I took to buy a car at $2.85. You might argue, well, you should have taken the money, not bought the car. You should have just put it right back into XRP. Well, I did, but I had some other money I did that with. But by the same token, right now, I have holdings of XRP all the way from 30 to 40 cents right up to, don't laugh, I've actually got some, don't laugh, I've actually got some. One buy, I got a bit confident. It wasn't a huge buy, but I've got some at $2.60. All right. Okay. I'm going to tell you that, but it's important that you understand that, everybody has a dickhead day. And yeah, I did very well at doing that on that day. I got out of it. I'm going to tell you, all right, I'm going to tell you the story. I bought 192,000 worth that day. And of course, goodness. It didn't do well for a while. Fortunately, I sold out of that one. Now, I treated that as a buy-sell. Okay, let's talk about the difference. I hodl a lot, and then I have my buy-sells, all right? So there's some stuff that, I consider holding for a very, very long time. But don't get me wrong, I'm always selling percentages at certain points. I have my buy-sell points. But some, that lot that I bought at $1.60 odd, trying to remember what it was now, $1.62, $1.60, something like $2.62 or something, $2.60. Get it right, US. I wish it was $1.60. I sat, that sat around $2.20 for quite a while. I sat there quite hurt that, I got it so wrong. When it hit $2.92, I sold the majority of it again and got out of my $192,000 mess, and at $2.60 through to $2.92. So look, it made money, which is great, but not the best example. This is a good example of where to buy. If you're new into crypto right now, buy this seriously. I know earlier I said $1.70, $1.70, buy $1.70. Yep, I get it, but honestly, I don't know that we're going to see that. Tomorrow's bloodbath, we might. I don't know. But I would say buy some of this, like buy some of this at $1.80. Like if your budget is, you've got 10 grand to spend, maybe spend 5 grand of it on XRP at $1.80. And then tomorrow, make a decision on what you do with the other 5 grand, because it might be $1.70. But if it's $1.90, spend the other 5 grand on $1.90. Nobody picks the top. Nobody picks the bottom. Nobody, no matter what, no matter how much we carry on about, crypto, or we read charts and we talk to each other about, but in the end, look, we're only as good as, the market can supply us, and at times information. And right now, that to me, well, look at the charts on everything else. This is not bad. I mean, can you see? I mean, we've hit a certain point, sure, and there's a big fall off. Yes, I understand. I should be showing you the other chart where it's come down from $2 odd, but and has it been a bad day for XRP? Well, it's been a bad day for everything Bitcoin, H bar. Look, it's just funny. I was talking about Solana earlier. Solana, I think, is a brilliant buy, but it's only because I'm looking back at January, say 20th, and saying, well, it was $300. Now it's $100. I mean, what does your brain tell you? If it's, in the top 5 cryptos in my head, maybe it's one to, buy some of as well. But realistically, this is not like, a lot of you guys know me in the radio game. This is not like radios, this is where you can just have mess lying around the place. You have to be very specific. You can't just, look, I looked at a portfolio today for somebody. He's a good mate of mine. And what he had there is a mishmash of a lot of stuff, and he's new and he's learning, but one of my comments I'm going to be talking to him about is, listen, I need you to sort of not be so adventurous with so many coins. You're starting to look like me with radios, in the fact that there's just a bloody mess everywhere, and his crypto chart looked like a mess everywhere, with some things. There's my mess, by the way, but let me tell you, I was the same. I've been in this since 2020, and I've been making mistakes for a lot of it, sure. But let me tell you, try and get yourself down to your top 5 cryptos, and maybe then have 2 that you sort of think, see, for me, one of those ones outside of those top 5 was XCN. XCN has killed me. XCN right now has been my biggest mistake. I'm going to admit that, and I'm just going to tell you. Did I try to do what I've done here with, sort of spend 25 grand at this point here to have a bit of fun, pick up the dip, etc.? Not a chance. XCN is either going to live or die. I'm either going to, be frustrated with it for the rest of my life, or I'm going to actually make some money out of it one day. But and anybody followed me down that rabbit hole into XCN, I'm sorry. It's just one of those ones where we all made some money initially, and then the bloody thing dumped like they can do. Welcome to crypto. All right, okay. Look, I never do crypto videos. I really don't. But this is one of those days where it is important that you know what's going on. It is important that you keep an eye on, where we are all at. It is important that you just keep on tracking just, live data. All these YouTube things, they're free, guys. Get onto the educational. Just look up XRP Live Educational, HBAR Live Educational, XLM Live Educational. They're really easy. Now, I've got other charts set up in other rooms, but you can see, the theory behind what we do. All right, wishing you all the best. Stay solid out there. Don't sell anything. Whatever you do, don't sell anything. Just look, trust me. Bugger the market. It's going to come back. It will. Trust me. Not financial advice, of course. All the best, guys. Cheers.